Good morning, Flosstube. Coming back to you a little bit on a different day and a little bit different time. I'm Jan from Jan Hicks Creates. This is Friday, April 6th, Friday morning. Decided to do one this morning. We are leaving for Arizona to visit my in-laws tomorrow morning, so I wanted to go ahead and get one done. We'll be coming back next Wednesday, so I would miss my normal Tuesday time, so I wanted to go ahead and get one in because I have a lot to talk about, a lot of things to show you, a lot to cover. So yeah, I am here back again. A lot to cover. Where to start? In my world, I know I mentioned the last time that we were waiting to hear about a job. We found out yesterday that he did not get that job. More disappointing than you can imagine, because this is a place, I can't say where, but it's a place that we were so excited about going. I've been there several times, and it's one of my favorite places in the world. But didn't get it for a reason, so he's still looking for, he had a job interview. These are for postings. He's staying with the same government agency, just looking for postings someplace out of Maryland. We're ready to be out of Maryland. We spent 25 years here before. We came back knowing that he was going to be looking for a job somewhere else. So he had an interview this morning for a job in Germany. He's had an interview for a job in Hawaii. That was probably a month ago. About 2 weeks ago, he got an email saying that the person who had done the interview and should make the decision was TDY, temporary duty for those who aren't in government speak. But then we still haven't heard anything more, so he's going to email her because another job opening has come up for Hawaii. A job opening has come up for MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa that he may apply for. So there's a lot of other possibilities out there. It's just that this one that we were really, really hoping for, that he is, we can't imagine that there's anybody else in the intelligence community that could be more suited to the job than him. It was a blow. So he came home early yesterday, and we had champagne and chocolate chip cookie dough because that's what you do. But like I said, today's a new day. We know that he did not get that job for a reason, that there is a job out there waiting for him, so we're moving forward. Let's see. That's the big news on our front. Other than that, it's just day-to-day, enjoying life kind of stuff. Stitching world, I've, as always, watched a ton of Flosstube. Pretty much caught up now on everybody and finding new people all the time. So let's see, what do I have? I have took some notes. Watched Ginger Gerald yesterday. He has a new design out of a really cute. He said he got inspired by walking through Hobby Lobby, so I have a feeling he must have seen some kind of home decor of a windmill, and he made that into a cross-stitch pattern. Just a little guy. Did two different finishes of it that just are really, really sharp. One in multicolored or variety of colors of DMC, and one in a single colored of a hand dyed, and just a really cute, not cute, but a really sharp design. I really liked it. He finished them into pillows. He hand stitched the pillows. So for all of us who are sewing machine challenged, he is thinking about a way to put together instructions that are easy to follow. So I'm looking forward to that because I'm definitely sewing machine challenged, but I would like to make pillows. So looking forward to that. He also put up a trailer maybe a week ago, maybe not that long ago, of a teaser of a new series that he's going to be starting on interviewing different floss tubers around the world. So that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to that too. We probably all know by now, but Julie at Gulf Coast Stitches has put up has started her own business, a needle crafts cross-stitch store, online store. I'm so excited for her. She seems like she has the background and the knowledge to really make a success of it, for it to answer a lot of needs that we have. And I'm just very excited for her. I've already requested several charts from her, so I'm looking forward to getting those. We've also probably all seen as well, Donna Ray, Flannel Jammy's Farm, did a short video clip within her last video of her giving her bees a new home. She ordered in some new honeybees. She had lost her hive over the winter because it's been such a bad winter. And so she got some new bees, and she showed us her and her husband getting them set in the hives that they have. So that was really cool. I've never seen that kind of thing. So that was neat to see, and I think we're all looking forward to watching the bees thrive in her garden over the summer. So that's kind of cool. Lynette, homesteading on the home front, ticked off their 1 month left on Guam in her video yesterday or the day before, so I know they're very excited about that. That means they are moving, though, into their pack-out time, which I also know is a very stressful time for a family. I have a feeling they've probably moved enough that they're probably old pros at it, but my thoughts go out to Lynette and her family as they go through this transition period. Oh, and the other one I watched yesterday, Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett, and I noticed a lot of the comments said the same thing, that she has totally gotten bit by the Stitchy bug, or by the sampler bug, and so she is starting to dive into the sampler world head first, and so that's kind of exciting to see. I think she's kind of been not egged on necessarily, but lit up by it, by what Julie has been doing with the sales coming up and her starting her own shop. So that's kind of cool to see. I'm not a big sampler person myself. I do like certain ones. I don't like necessarily ones with a lot of frou-frou on them, or I don't like Lynette, I don't like people on my samplers, but I do like some styles, so I can totally understand getting bit by the Stitchy bug. And in fact, while we're in Arizona, my in-laws live in Surprise, which is about an hour from Mesa, so I'm hoping that next Tuesday we can make a trip down to the attic in Mesa, and I can, I'm at least planning on getting some fabric. There's a few things that I hope to start for Mania that I need some fabric for, so I'm hoping to get some fabric there, and hopefully not too much else, because I need to restrain myself. Let's see, new floss tubers. I had a lot of fun finding a few new ones that I really enjoyed. Let's see if I can read without my glasses. Melissa, Cupcake Stitcher. She is doing some amazing pieces. She's another one that likes Halloween probably more than I do, that kind of genre, but that's fine. She's working on a Day of the Dead piece that is, and that is nothing I would ever stitch for myself, but, excuse me, the colors on it are just stunning. The piece is amazing, so I could totally see wanting to do that and having that hanging in your home, because it's just an amazing piece. She also talked about wanting to do the sunrise and sunset pieces by Rosewood Manor. I didn't realize there was a sunrise piece. I had seen the sunset piece, and it was actually in my hot little hands when I went to my LNS for their market day. And it's, again, the colors are just gorgeous, and being the person that I am that loves to walk on the beach at sunset and do all the sunset photos, and caught a few sunrises on the beach, not as many as sunsets. I really want to do that one. I decided to put it back after it was in my hot little hands, because I had so many other things, and I know that it's going to be around for a while. But when I saw that there was a matching sunrise piece, yeah, I'll be doing those at some point. So Melissa, yeah, thanks for that tip off, and I totally get that. So yeah, anyway, she was fun to watch, and I really liked some of the pieces she's doing. The other people that I discovered yesterday, Kitchen Stitchers. This was a tip from Pam and Steph. They are, the Kitchen Stitchers are 3 friends who've been friends for a long time, stitching together for a long time. They are fellow customers at keepsakes. They will be going to StitchCon. I envy all of you people going to StitchCon and getting together and meeting. I will be with you in spirit. But it was neat to see. It was a very short first video that they did together, so it was very neat to get a feel for who they are and the type of stitching, and the camaraderie between them is just a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of them. Country Stitchers, I know quite a few of us have found them and mentioned them. They're from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is just a little north of here. I love Lancaster. It's such a beautiful area. I grew up in western Pennsylvania. We had a cottage in central Pennsylvania that we went to every summer, and we always drove around Belleville, which is another Amish community, and I just love the feel, the farms, the beauty of that kind of area. And of course Lancaster is also a very craft-filled area, so it's just beautiful. I have a cousin that lives in Lancaster, so I've spent a lot of time there, and I just love it. So anyways, Country Stitchers, two wonderful ladies who have been friends for a while, stitching together for a while. They meet like the Kitchen Stitchers. I think they all get together like once a week and stitch together, and I just think that's so cool, and I'm so jealous. Country Stitchers, Liz and Deb, I believe, have a lot of beautiful, beautiful projects, big projects going. One thing though, I looked up, I believe it's Deb. I didn't note down their individual names, and I'm sorry about that. But on IG, her name is countrycabin.farms, and I looked her up and followed her, and she lives in a log cabin, and it's not like a little log cabin in the woods. It's like one of these beautiful, what you'd see in a home magazine. I don't read those, so I don't know the names of any, but just a stunning house. So I highly recommend you follow her on Instagram and look at her pictures. Beautifully decorated, and of course cross stitch all over the place. Just gorgeous. I want to go and visit, so I'll invite myself. Speaking of Instagram, I wanted to note a couple of things that I've been doing. I've started to use the tag Maker's Gonna Make and Handmade is Best and the Makers Movement, and I followed those tags as well. And it's kind of neat, like Handmade is Best or even Makers Movement, any of them. It's kind of neat to see in my stream a bunch of other crafts and other makers flowing through, just to get a feel for what else is going on out there in the creative world. I don't need any more hobbies, but I just like a variety, like to see other things. So that's fun. If you want to check those out, Maker's Gonna Make, hashtag Maker's Gonna Make, hashtag Makers Movement, or hashtag Handmade is Best, just to get a feel for different things. So that was fun. Okay. Excuse me, I'll probably be doing that a lot. I have a phlegm problem. Wash it down with some water. Okay, so the Wayback Machine. I had mentioned last week that I don't have a lot of Lizzie Kates, and I had gone through my bag of stuff that I need to put on Stash Unload to see if there were any hiding in there, and there wasn't. But then I was going through my stash of stuff I'm keeping to get ready for Mania, and I have some Mania plans. They're kind of unorthodox. I'm not starting a new thing every day. That would just stress me out way too much. And I'll talk about what I'm doing the next week in the next video I do. But so I was going through my charts, and lo and behold, I have more Lizzie Kate than I expected. Now these are old. Like I said, the Wayback Machine. Let's see. So I have, and I'm sorry I'm squinting, Winter ABCs, and that looks like S33. I guess that stands for Snippet 33. So Winter ABCs, Autumn ABCs, Spring ABCs, and of course Summer ABCs. And these are what, 31, 32, 33, 34 probably. And these all have the little the little buttons that go with them, the little chart. And then I also have, because I'm a mom of boys, I have this one, Sons Are a Special Joy. And of course my intent was to stitch these up and have them hanging around the house to celebrate my boys. And my boys are now 19 and 21 and out of the house. I'll probably still stitch them up. Maybe it's because Sons Are still a special joy, even if they're older and not quite as cute. I'm sorry guys, I love you to death, you know that. The other one I found is this one, and I don't know how old. Well, this was for the, this was to profit, or it says all profits dedicated to the victims of September 11th, 2001. So it must have, she must have done this. I need to put my glasses on so I can read it. Let me show you it. So let there be peace, and let it begin with me. Very simple, nothing fancy about this one, just a sweet little piece. Yeah, it says, the blessing of needle arts is that as stitchers we have an opportunity to speak words created with time and touch that can deliver comfort over years and even generations. By purchasing this chart, I cry at everything. Stitchers will also be contributing to emergency relief. Lizzie Kate will be donating 100% of the profits to relief organizations dedicated to supporting victims of the September 11th attack in New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania. Don't get me started on September 11th, 2001. I was at work. I thought our building was next. So anyways, I haven't stitched any of these. I will at some point. And I also have this one. Now, for those who have followed me or have seen me on, this was, I finished this before I started Flosstube, but I posted it on Stitch Mania, Cross Stitch Unlimited Instagram. So this is done. I have the frame. I framed it. You know, I had gotten the frame way back. This is, what number is this? 19? Is that what that says? Yep, 19. So I had gotten the frame at the same time I did, I got the chart, and I had done pretty much all of it. I think the only thing I had left to do was the snow, tie the bow, and maybe put the S-claws on here. So I finished that before Christmas, and I got it framed and hanging up. So I am done with this. If anybody would like this, actually go ahead and put, like we do in the comments, put I would like to stitch Dear Santa. Now this does have a little bit of marking on the chart. Oops, I shouldn't have shown that. Sorry about that. Hopefully it wasn't enough to see anything. There's a little bit of highlighting there on the Santa sack. But put I would like to stitch Dear Santa, and I'll do a drawing if somebody wants that. And just get that in the mail. I won't draw it until my next video, so a week or so from now. The other thing, let's see. Okay, the other thing from the archives. So there's been some talk over the past week of different people doing silk gauze projects. And of course, I have a silk gauze project too. So this is called the English Carpet from the Heart's Content, Maureen Appleton. Excuse me, I used to love Maureen Appleton. I still love Maureen Appleton. I love her designs. I don't know whether she's even still designing, but this is English Carpet, 40 count silk gauze. Came with the silks. Isn't that gorgeous? So Mischievous Stitchers, Lori had shown hers, and she had mentioned that she had one as well. That wasn't the one she showed, but she had another one that was mounted, came pre-mounted on the mat board, and that's what this is. Now this, this doesn't want to focus real good on this. I can totally relate to what she was saying. She said she was kind of disappointed with the one. She would never do another one mounted on mat board because her mat board was getting kind of weathered. Now mine isn't bent at all, but you can see there are markings up here. But I think what bothers me more than that even is that it's mounted slanted on the mat board. So I could never actually frame it like that. Now it comes, it's just like taped to the mat board. So whenever I do finally finish this, and I think I am probably going to start working on this again soon, because my eyes aren't getting any younger. And I think I can still see this with the holes being fairly big. Let me take that away. You can see the holes are fairly big. I think I'll still be able to do it, but my eyes ain't getting any younger, so I better get it done. It is a gorgeous piece. I'm thinking maybe an hour a day. I'm not going to go full hog and try and knock this out, you know, overnight, but I'm thinking maybe an hour a day, and then my eyes will be ready for a break, but at least I'll be making some progress. So anyways, when it comes time to frame it, I think I'm going to see if I can take it off. I might take it up to the stitching post and see what they think, see if I can take it off of here and mount it on something different so that it's straight, because, you know, I'm crazy like that. Now, I wanted to show you too where I'm keeping the silk gauze or the silk flosses for this. I had gotten, I'm sure I got this way back when I subscribed to Just Cross Stitch magazine. And it's just a folder that is probably meant, you know, probably like the first stitching tote meant for keeping your project in. I'm not even sure what those loops are supposed to do. And I don't know if this came with it. I don't know where this thing came from, but it is a Velcroed thing, and I just have all the silks laying in here. Now, I'm not sure this is good because the Velcro actually is going over top of the silk. So I'm probably going to change this out before I actually start working on the piece again, but I just thought I'd show you this. Again, this is probably 30 years old. Well, maybe not that long, maybe 25. Who knows? I don't like to do math, especially when it reveals my age. The other thing that's kind of from the archives, although current as well, is my chatelaine. I had mentioned last time that I am working on a chatelaine. This is the Taj Mahal mandala. And I don't think it's going to focus any better than that. I closed my blinds in this bedroom because the glare I was getting off of the windows on this side was, it just makes my hair so bright you can't even see anything. So I closed the blinds so it's changing the light a bit. But anyways, Taj Mahal, I just have the center. Now, this is from the archives because, again, I don't know how long ago I started this. It was before we moved down to Florida, so at least 6 years. But I had probably gotten it a good at least 5 or 6 years before that. I've had this forever, and I just haven't, I love it. I got it, I started working on it, I decided, I put it away, I didn't work on it for years and years. Got it, every once in a while I'd get it out again and work on a little bit, and then it'd get put away again. So, I need to start working on that again because I do love it. And I'd like to do other chatelaines as well, but I'm not going to get another one until I have that one done. All right, so let's go to notes, see what I'm missing, see what comes next. That was the Wayback Machine. Okay, finishes. If you follow me on Instagram, if you are on Stitch Mania, Cross Stitch Unlimited, any of those for you know, relatively frequently, you've probably seen these already, but I'll show them again. This is my finish. You saw the spring piece that I had finished last time. So this is the fully finished object. I had known, so I'd mentioned that I didn't know whether I was going to do a pillow because I thought a pillow might be too big. Probably when I was laying awake some night, the idea of a shadow box came into my head. Or maybe, I don't know. I think it's because I saved a bunch of pictures from a French needlework show that somebody had shared on Stitch Mania as ideas for finishing, and something like this might have been one of them. So anyways, shadow box this frame actually, I don't know whether you can tell, it's kind of a burlappy linen type of backing. That was actually part of the frame that came like that. So mounted the piece on mat board, found this fabric and mounted it on that. Glued it in there, glued these vines in there. Now this little thing isn't attached because I'm thinking with each change of the season, I'll find a different little doober to put in here. Ah! This is what happens when it's not attached. Sorry about that. I'll find a different little thing to put in here to that's more seasonal. But I saw this and it just matched the colors so perfectly. It was just perfect. So there's that one, which I absolutely adore. I think that turned out perfect. And then this, I started to think about different ways to frame, not all the non-traditional ways to frame. And these are, all of these things are totally inspired by Priscilla's wide variety of ways of finishing. It really opened up my eyes that it doesn't have to be a frame. And in my life stitching before, that wasn't a thing. It was always just framed and hung on the wall or put in a pillow, that kind of thing. So thinking along those lines and thinking about my experience as a scrapbooker in the past, I decided to mash up the two and start drawing on my knowledge of how to lay out a design for scrapbooking and apply that to laying out one of my projects. So that's what I did with this. This is my first punch needle project. This is the Old Glory piece from the Old Tattered Flag, where I used the beads in there instead of punching those parts, which I think is really cool. I love how that turned out. And so I just got a canvas, didn't do anything to it, got the rickrack and the different other trims, mounted, well, first I attached the cording, and I did sew that on, and then mounted this red on some mat board and glued it all down. Glued the different trims on, and then glued this on and sprinkled some stars around. Now, the only thing I wish I had done differently, this cording, this is another one I got. This cording was a very clear cream. And I got some walnut stain and sprayed it. I just got the Tim Holtz walnut stains, that stuff, the distress spray. So I sprayed a variety of those on here, just lightly, just to set it off a little bit so that it wouldn't be a bright cream, so it would go better with a hand-dyed floss in here. And I really like how that turned out. I need help, I think, on how to get the corners better so they're not rounded and look like they're sinking under the piece, but I'll get better. This is the first time I've done that. But the only thing I wish I had done differently is distress the canvas a bit with those sprays. I thought about maybe trying it like covering the piece up with some plastic wrap and trying to distress around, but I think that could be a disaster. So live and learn. Next time, if I need to, I'll try and distress the canvas and see what that looks like with the sprays. So there is that, which again I'm thrilled with. Maybe not perfect, but it works. So those are my finishes. I don't have any finished things. Well, I do kind of sort of have a finish. Again, if you follow me on Instagram or any place, I've posted this there. This is my Harbor Haven stitch along. You guys have all seen this before. I finished part 4, which is this piece right here. Again, I cannot even put into words how much I adore this. I mentioned I put this on a post on Instagram on a response to somebody. I just want to crawl into this scene and live here. I mean, I adore this. It's soon going to be getting too big to do anything but show it from the back. But I mean, God, isn't that just amazing? So we have what? It's a 12-part scene, so we have, see, I don't do math, 6, 7, 8 more parts to do. And each one I love. Each one I absolutely love. Look at those birds. Is that adorable or what? So, that is a finish. The next part for that comes out on the 10th. I won't be working on it that soon. I started this on the 27th, finished it yesterday on the 5th. So each little piece goes fairly quickly. So I usually wait until the end of the month and then start working on it again. So there's that. So that's really my finishes. My works in progress. Hold that thought. All right. I'm going to start with kind of an untraditional work in progress. I had mentioned, again, last time that I am going to start working on getting my flosses in some kind of better order than what they are now because they're kind of scattered. You've probably seen the people that take the hanging folders and make them into this kind of thing to hang their flosses. Now this is very much a homegrown, like I know there's somebody on Etsy that sells like this type of thing in wood, that sells laser cut plastic pieces that hang off of the holes. That's all wonderful. I didn't want to spend that much money. So this is my kind of jerry-rigged version of this. These are those Tux envelopes that I told you about, bags. Let me see if I can find one. Here's one that has a couple skeins of floss in it. So you can see that there's a lot of room in these, and whether I have one handy that has, it's like stuffed full. But there's quite a bit of room in these for multiple skeins of floss. So, hanging folder, chop off the folder. I just used paper clips. I was going to get lanyard hooks, the lanyard clips that you kind of squeeze open and close. But I thought, you know something? Paper clips will work. And then I can just slip these off. Just slip these off the paper clip like that. Put it on a ring and I'm ready to go. When I'm done, this is probably the wrong number, but that's okay. Just slip it back on and it hangs in a hanging file folder bin. So nice and neat, compact. Lots will fit into the space. So I am happy with that. Let's see. My quilt star, Wish Upon a Quilt, or Wish Upon a Star. Did a little bit more of that. So I've got all of the these kind of bright coral pieces all filled in. This is also going with me to Arizona. I would really like to get this done before Mania starts. So that's my goal. It stitches up pretty quickly, so I think I will. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. This, again, this is Wish Upon a Star. It is an old chart from '87. I'm using a, I don't suppose I still have the thing. I think it's a 32 count. I don't remember, 32, 36 count white linen. I totally changed the colors. I did have somebody, one of my viewers from the last video, loved this so much she looked on eBay and she was able to find this on eBay. Don't know whether there's any more, but I was rather surprised. So it is available out there someplace. Knitting works in progress. So the lace mashup shawl, I did get my center panel done. Hold on a second. Center panel, come on, there, you go up there. So that will be gorgeous when it blocks out like that. And then these coming around like that. The bottom border, I thought we might be going up and down like this. No, that's not what Laura does. Picked up 360 stitches along the bottom border. So I have 360 stitches on my needle. And there are 18 rows of lace to do along there. So again, working on it an hour a day. I'm going to be taking this with me to Arizona as well, because I don't want to have another week go by where I don't work on this. So we will see how far we get on that. Then the other knitting project that I'll be taking is the Bauble Shawl by Andrea Mallory. So 3 colors. Finished the first syncopated syncopated brioche. Finished the lace section on that. The next section, I believe, is another striped garter like this. Only for this section, we'll be bringing in the 3rd color. So I'll be bringing in the brown. So I think that's going to be gorgeous. I can't wait to start that. So I'll probably start working on that tonight, actually, because it's Friday. And so tonight is the Friday Off the Grid party and the Fiber Friends Friday night stitch-in. So that's what I'll be doing tonight. The other thing that's kind of a whip as well as a purchase, so we're kind of going from segueing from whips into purchases with this, is my next punch needle. It is from an Etsy shop called Briar Cottage Studio, and it is this pretty little coneflower design. Isn't that pretty? Very much more subdued, delicate colors than the last one. That's them there. And I managed to get the pattern traced out onto the weaver's cloth yesterday. My first time doing this. The tattered flag, the Old Glory one that I got, came with the pattern already traced on the cloth. For my first one, I didn't want to get into the tracing, so it was easy to just get started. So there is that. I hope to get started a little bit on this afternoon before, so that I have a little bit started before we go. I am going to be doing, so this one I'm using the Cameo Punch, which is this thing, and I use the medium needle. You have small, medium, large, extra large, fine, all kinds of different needle tips. This one is the medium needle, and I used all 6 strands of the floss. For this one, because there's a lot of delicate spaces in this, a lot of very tiny spaces, I'm going to be using, I got the small needle, and I'm going to be using 3 strands of floss. So it'll be interesting to see how much different that looks from the 6 strands, if you can really tell. I don't know whether you can tell. What I'm hoping to be able to do eventually with punch needle is get to the point, there doesn't seem to be any real guidelines out there, but I hope to get to the point where I know, I'm totally familiar with what weight basically each needle tip takes. I have so much yarn, I hope to be able to be using some of my yarn in these projects as well. So that's kind of what I'm building towards. So anyways, I hope to get this started. I don't have a hoop big enough. I ordered a 14-inch hoop. That should be here Monday, of course, while I'm gone. but I'm going to go ahead and put it in my 10-inch hoop so that I can at least start a little bit on some of the middle sections, just to get a feel for it before I go. So that is that. Now, let's see. What else did I want to talk to you about? Oh, that's right. We segued into purchases. So I don't have a lot of purchases. Lord knows I had gotten enough for my birthday. And I've asked Julie to get a couple charts for me that I was having trouble finding. So she's working on that. Like I said, fabric. I hope to get some fabric at the attic for some of the Mania starts, which I'll go into more. But other than that, the other purchases I got, so I did go to Michael's and take advantage of a sale they were having. I had been talking to Susie Reno. We exchanged some messages on Instagram. She had shown a printer tray on her last video, and I used to have a printer tray, huge printer tray, you know, one of the full-size ones. And I got rid of it when we moved. And when she started talking about it, I was like, oh, damn. Why am I getting rid of things? I think I talked about this in my last video. I don't remember. So anyway, I had seen this at Michael's a time or two ago. And I just think this is gorgeous. Not a printer tray by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly perfect for putting little smalls in, right? Different ways to display things. Hold on, someone's... Okay, sorry about that. So, this drawer. Not a drawer, really. I don't know what you call it, shelf thingy. So, was in Michael's and saw that they have, they were having a 50% off sale on this. And then there was another 20% off on everything, all of the purchase, including sale items. So this had been $80 and I got it for $23, so I couldn't pass it up. And so I think that kind of answers my need for now. I have been looking for printer trays on, oh goodness, OfferUp, Let Go, the Facebook Marketplace kind of things. And there was a smaller one that I was tempted, not too far from here, but I'm going to let this answer that need for now. I think it's awfully pretty. Now I just need to make some smalls to put in here. I haven't shown my husband this yet. Another thing I got at Michael's, though, speaking of my dear husband, I got a spring wreath for the front door. And, you know, we're in an apartment building, so, you know, the outside hall, the hallway out here. And he came home yesterday and he said, oh, you got a new wreath. And I just started laughing at him, and he said, he looked at me kind of sheepishly, and he said, how long has it been there? I said, oh, 2 days. So, yeah, this is my husband. He doesn't pay attention to details. He's brilliant, but he doesn't pay attention to details. Oh, we have a kitty. Would you like to see one of my kitties? Come here, Sasha. This is Sasha. Say hi. Isn't he a handsome boy? He says, just let me down. When I want to have attention paid to me, I will let you know. They're Siberians. They're very furry. He has a sister around here who is white. She has a seal point. So she has blue eyes and, you know, the colorations, but mostly white fur. And then he's our tuxedo. So, let's see. Mania plans, I am working on them. I will talk more about that later. I am still working on my plans for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and I'm creeping ever closer, and I'm very excited about that. I wanted to show you, I had mentioned that, I'm trying to find the photo, so that's what's going on here. I had mentioned that I'm working with one of the crafters around here, a woman named Vicki Moss, who makes knitting bags, knitting project bags. Her company name is That Clever Clementine. I first met her at probably Maryland Sheep and Wool last year, and I had her make, I think I mentioned this in the last video, I had her make a bunch of bags for me to give as gifts, going away gifts for the people that I worked with down at the yarn store in Sarasota. So she had started to put up peeks of what she was going to be taking to the Handspun Yarn Festival. That was a couple weekends ago up here, and she had you see that she had this material. OMG, is that adorable or what? Sugar Skull Kitties. So my plan is to have, I think again I mentioned, is to have a giveaway for knitters and one for stitchers. So the knitters will get a bag and this skein of hedgehog sock yarn in the Warhol colorway. This was an exclusive colorway to the Knit Stars 2.0 club that I had joined. So I got 2 of these skeins, and I'll give one of those away along with the bag. I mean, were those meant to go together or what? Just perfect. And then I have another bag in the same fabric for the stitchers. I'm still working on a chart to go with that. But that's my plans for my 1,000 giveaway once I get there. I think I'm around 850, so I have a little time yet. Hopefully by the end of April. We'll see. But I saw that fabric and I didn't want to let it get away, so talked to Vicki about that. I think that's about it. Let me double check my notes just to be sure. Come on. I keep my notes in Evernote and it takes forever on my phone to load up. All right, I think that's about it. I will, I may take some pictures at the attic. I will be taking pictures of the desert, whatever flora and fauna and pretty things that I can find, because there certainly aren't any pretty things around here. Actually, I think there are some trees starting to flower, so I'll probably take some pictures of those and put them at the beginning of this video, so I hope you enjoy that. But anyways, I'm looking forward to getting into some warmth and some sunshine for a few days. I hope life is grand where you are. I hope you are stitching all the things, or knitting all the things, or punch needling all the things. And I hope you're having a great life. I will talk to you soon on Instagram, on Facebook, and all those other wonderful places that we chat. You guys have a great weekend. Bye-bye.